Today for the FORGE, that's Family Organizations Recruiting Great Employees Career Expo. FORGE helps students forge their own path by utilizing the abundant workforce training options right here in our area. And speaking of, we welcome to the program now Brent Bean, president of the Mississippi Construction Education Foundation. Brent, thanks for coming on.
Oh, glad to be here, Gerard. Isn't it awesome what's going on today?
Man, it's incredible. These young folks are getting exposed to all these various career opportunities that exist right here in the state of Mississippi. They don't have to leave the state to find plenty of opportunities for gainful employment, great paying jobs, great companies, great benefits. I've already talked to a couple of employers who have said as much, that they've had to increase their compensation packages because it's the demand and supply dynamics. We got more job opportunities chasing fewer job applicants, and that equals an environment that's advantageous for the employee.
Yeah, supply and demand, but it is good to see that our construction industry has embraced, that they've got to have competitive wages. And one of the things that we always try to tell these young people throughout the years as we get to see them firsthand is, it's not just your salary, and that is very competitive in this industry, but it's the other benefits that go along with it that the construction industry has embraced because they knew that they had to stay competitive and keep the people they wanted. I mean, it's health insurance, it's retirement, it's 401k, stuff like that sometimes the 8th graders don't think about, but we try to plant that seed because they're going to think about it one day.
Yeah, that's right. And I know whenever I've addressed young folks, you're so right. That's typically not top of their mind, but it doesn't take long where it becomes pretty important to you. And you'll wish you maybe had thought a little bit about that when you started out your career. Have you talked today to some of let's start with the employers. What are they telling you, Brent? Are you talking to some of them?
So a lot of the contractors that I've been speaking to this morning, first thing that I want to brag about these young people that are coming through is the manners that this group has had this morning. I was talking to a handful of contractors that I've heard more yes sirs and thank yous than I have in a long time. So that's got a lot of people excited right there that they'll come up and actually shake your hand, look you in the eyes, and be respectful. And I think a lot of people don't realize how far that'll take you.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's just such an important part of just being a productive employee and honestly, from an employer perspective, a desirable employee. I mean, that's one of the things they're looking for. It's more than just coming in and being able to do just the technical aspect of the work. Yeah,
another thing that they've been really excited to see is the initiative that a lot of these young people have shown, as opposed to being hesitant to jump in there and jump in the simulator and drive a concrete truck or to grab the virtual welder. A lot of these are, hey, let me do it. I want to try it. So seeing them excited to put their hands on stuff and being able to give them that opportunity to actually put their hands and go through some simulations and try these things. And then, when that interest is peaked, let them know, hey, if you like this, you can make a living doing this.
Yeah.
Just like, we've got the driving simulator back there, and some of the kids are driving, concrete trucks, and then they're able to get right out and climb up in a real concrete truck. And then we tell them, hey, this is how much money you can make driving this.
Yeah.
Their eyes light up, and like, wow, I didn't realize that. Like, yeah, you can. It's a beautiful day outside.
Yep.
We're blessed to have that today, and that's another benefit that we talk to these people. Like, hey, if you like being outside and doing things with your hands like you're doing today, you can make a living out of it. Not just a job, but a true career where you can provide for your family. And it's just really great to have the kids come through in this area and just show such excitement and be so engaged with all that's going on. And I like seeing the employers we see. I talked to Katie and Christy and them with FORGE earlier, and we've got more industry than we have in the past being here. So seeing our industry want to embrace and work with these young people is just really exciting that everybody's on board, that we need to grow the workforce. It's not going to grow itself, and we need to get in front of these young people as soon as possible and start planting that seed.
Yeah. I've had some folks even on the text line that have said they'd like for their schools to participate in this event as well. They obviously are hearing about it and hearing from the folks who've been on the show. Sounds like something that they believe would benefit their schools. But really, 8th graders at such a malleable age and impressionable part of their life, they should be exposed to everything. Honestly.
Absolutely. And studies have shown, that's why we're doing this for 8th graders today. The studies show that at 8th grade is when, the kids kind of start thinking about, what do I want to do?
Yeah.
Now a lot of people, they don't make up their mind as an 8th grader.
Sure.
But, they're starting to wonder and starting to think about those kind of things. So that's why it's so great for us to be able to pique that interest, and why they're wondering, what do I want to do? We start putting this kind of stuff in front of them and just let them know, hey, here's an opportunity for you. You don't have to just think, oh, I got to go to college and be a businessman or be a lawyer. That's great if you want to do that. We do need businessmen and we do need lawyers and doctors, but we also need people that can, build the interstates and build the hospitals and build the law offices. We need that as well.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. No doubt about that. And that's going to continue for as long as we can see out in front of us. But I kind of wonder when the students experience this event, I wonder what they tell their parents when they go home.
That's something that MCEF is really passionate about, working and getting in front of those parents, because what we have found, in the past, and it's gotten better here recently, but in the past, the kids come and their interest is piqued and they think this is really cool, and they go home and they say, hey, Mom, I want to drive a dump truck. And it's immediately shot down. You're not driving a dump truck. You're not doing that. So that's something that FORGE is working on, and MCF partnering with them is working on, is really trying to get our parents to understand their baby can be very successful in this industry, and they can be proud of that. Representative Jill Ford is one that I talk about all the time, that, she's as happy as she can be that her baby boys are plumbers, because they're so successful doing it. And, she's the first to tell you, initially she was just caught off guard and just like, oh my, put out by it. Like, no, I'm paying for you to go to Ole Miss. This is what you're going to do. And now she just couldn't be more proud. And there's so many examples like that across our state, that we just want to be able to get it in front of more parents and like, hey, you can be very proud of your daughter or your son going into this industry. And this is one that we always try to tell people, hey, you can start at the bottom and work your way up. And if you have the desire and the drive to have your own company and be your own boss, this is an industry that offers that opportunity to you.
And opportunities for advancement as well. These companies are expanding, and by doing so, they're creating career paths and new opportunities.
Absolutely. We see so many examples, personally at MCEF, where our apprentices go through the program, and then a couple years later, they're project managers or they're estimators, and some of them come back and teach for us as well. And that's just really exciting to see somebody come in as a greenhorn, a young apprentice that doesn't know anything, goes through a 4-year program. They're working, they're getting on the job training, they're driving a company truck by the time they're a 4th-year apprentice. And then 2 years later, you're talking about your project managers, you're making salary, some of them in the 6 figures, benefits, again, company vehicles. And that's just something that not all industries are able to offer people.
No doubt about it. And the one thing that I've noticed here today, Brent, is just the energy. The energy level's high. I think these 8th graders are having a lot of fun. I see a lot of their teachers and chaperones with them as well. It just gives them an opportunity to get out of the traditional lecture environment and setting in a classroom and okay, this is really what I'm learning all this for. What I'm aspiring to is go to work.
Yeah, but you love for them to be able to get their hands and see some of this big equipment be able to see, like, hey, here's how you can apply some of this algebra that you learned.
No doubt.
Look at how you build the slope of this roof and things of that nature. And it's really exciting when you see them do that, and all of a sudden the light bulb goes off. Like,
really cool stuff. Brent Bean, president of Mississippi Construction Education Foundation, has been our guest on Middays. We're at the Communiversity. Appreciate you coming on, Brent.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
We're here for the FORGE Career Expo.